This RSBANDB Update Nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update episode 719. Enjoy. We also did today have a charitable giving update, 2017 in review of charity for Jagex. Throughout both of those years, they raised £316,377, which is about equivalent to $412,000 US over those 2 years. Yeah.
That is really good.
These, combined with, they say, over 600 hours of Jagex staff time, contributed to funding mental health first aid training for 350 Princess Trust frontline staff, partly funding a mental health counselor at the Princess Trust Fairbridge Center, run training programs at Jagex for around 40 Princess Trust young people, collaborate on and fund the largest and most successful campaign for our local, of course, being around Cambridge, CPSL Mind organization that they have ever run, which was called Stop Suicide. Help the YMCA right here to grow their social media awareness campaigns and fund AV equipment so that YMCA Aware or right here can create their own material. And Game Blast 2018 raised £100,000, just over it, $130,000 for special effect.
Awesome.
So
that is really good.
It's really cool.
And one of the big things, I mean, the dollar value is fantastic, but 600 hours of Jagex staff time is awesome. So it's not just the money value; it's that time that they're investing as well. And Jagex cop a lot of crap off the players about different things, but it's things like this that largely go unnoticed and unheralded for the company that, we need to really take our hats off to them for this type of thing. So, fantastic. Well done, guys.
Yeah. And, one of the biggest responsibilities of anyone and part of any organization, I feel, and, you can see this at local groups, and, we're fortunate here, we can see it with Jagex, is, of course, to look after not only the community that uses your product or service, but also the community around where your offices are, and ensuring that you're out in the community and you're able to make these kind of impacts. Because if you have this huge business park set up in Cambridge and you're just there developing this game, and you're contributing a huge amount to the local economy of Cambridge, you do owe it to people. I believe that corporations and people in general do have a duty to, in effect, pay it forward that way. When they're working and contributing to their own local economy like that. So,
yep. And things like special effect. I mean, £100,000 for that on that, Game Blast 2008, and that's one weekend. To get that sort of money to help those people. I mean, I always complain about the size of the text and all that because, I wear glasses and it's hard to read and such. But I mean, the people out there who do really suffer and have those issues, that is fantastic to be able to bring the game, to a player base that doesn't have access to a lot of things and gives them that escape. I mean, we all take it for granted, jumping on the computer and playing a game, but there's a lot of people who don't, who can't just switch it on and do that.
Yeah, and even you, Tanis, what we talked about this past game last weekend with Mod Porky and everything, bouncing back and forth about accessibility in gaming and how RuneScape is out there on the forefront. And the special effect 2018 results speak for themselves, but also I think the community owes it to themselves to give themselves a pat on the back for being so generous in all of these endeavors, and Jagex too. So
for sure. Yep. Well, and it's kind of been full circle in a way, or it could be, you know what I mean? Like, there's out of those 40 kids or whatever that they had the Princess Trust there, how many are the next game designers, how, just whatever, you never know. And look, like last week when we talked about, that was the third week in a row that they had put in a little touch that actually affects, people like that, just those little audio cues. It's huge. So like even the little things, I feel like they actually, they're taking stuff back and making changes themselves with the information.
And even things like there was a few months ago, there was a streamer who set up a so-called charity stream and then ended up pocketing most of the money himself. Jagex come out and and they gave that money to the charity that this guy was supposed to have given it to themselves. Now they had they had no obligation to do that. This guy had done it all on himself, and now they're looking at working out a way for streamers to be able to do these charities where it is done through Jagex. So you just contact Jagex, they'll set it all up. So the money does go to them, so to ensure that it will in future go to the charity that it's set for. But I don't know of any other company that would have done something like that, where someone outside of their own company has gone and done a stream. And I mean, it was $1,200, which, for Jagex is not a huge amount of money, but still they had no obligation whatsoever to do anything. But they took it out of their own money, gave it to that charity. I mean, they stopped that guy from being able to do these charity streams, and his name was put out there, so no one will ever trust him again. But they stood up and still gave that money to that charity, which was above and beyond.
Yeah, you're not going to see certain other companies doing that, It will remain nameless.
Yes.
I mean,
That's exactly what I was thinking. So continuing on, they do have plans to continue in 2019, 2020. Their charity partners will be locally CPSL Mind, which they've been working with before, in the UK, the Princess Trust, and internationally they partnered with URRAD, which is a California-based nonprofit that has directly funded mental health care costs for 28,000 gamers in the last 3 years. And this is a new company that they're picking up on, and it is of course based in the US, but they do work internationally.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's fantastic. So, yeah.
Now, the next in-game charity event starts on April 15th, and all funds will be going to CPSL Mind and the Princess Trust. And this has been alluded to, of course, in the April Month Ahead post, which we talked about last week. So this comes in with the Easter update on Monday. So this should be a fun one to see.
That's a bad day to do that update. That's tax day in America.
Oh.
The last thing people want to do is spend more money. Yeah, that's not a good day.
They said it was a little too late to add URRAD to the in-game event in April, but rest assured that all other funds we raise throughout the year will be shared amongst the three of them. And there will also be a second in-game RuneScape event in November, and they have also added donation buttons on the Jagex Charitable Giving webpage, so it's now more than easier than ever for you to lend your support. So
that's cool.
If you go to jagex.com/charitablegiving, yeah, I believe that's it, but there will be a link in the show notes. There are links to all of these three charities that they are working with, and if one of them directly appeals to you, you can make a direct donation to them on the Jagex charity webpage.